Well, good morning, everybody. It is 11 a.m. on the 1st of September, 2024, and we are on our way to Angel Fire from Eagle Nest. And for those of you that don't know, Eagle Nest is where I'm staying for the summer, and it is 30 miles south of the Colorado border in northern New Mexico. It's at 8,000 plus feet. Let's see if I can get a better picture of Dottie. It's hard to get both Dottie and I in the picture at the same time, but Dottie, are we here? Let's see. Yeah, Dottie's in there. Let's see. That's about the best we can do. So anyway, we're on our way to Angel Fire, which is about 10 miles away, and my good friends, Deborah Dickinson, author Deborah Dickinson on YouTube, and Frugal RV Gal. They are leaving the area today, sadly, and this is my least favorite thing to do, is to say goodbye. That's my least favorite thing to do in nomad life, but that's what we're going to do today. And I'm waving to neighbor. And we're going to go do that. But on the way, you notice this is a Quartzsite video. Well, instead of just talking nonsense on the way over there, I'm going to talk about Quartzsite. And I've been thinking about something. You know, I have things, I have videos, things I love about Quartzsite. I have videos thwarting all people that do videos that say Quartzsite's not a good place to go. And I was thinking last night, what really are the things that make Quartzsite so wonderful for so many people? And considering 5 things that aren't so great, right? The weather's not perfect. There are better places to go for the weather. I mean, it's true during the day, it's probably hovers around 70 degrees on average for most of the winter. But it gets cold. It gets down to freezing some nights. It's cold at night. And it's windy. And you get stretches of rain. There are better places to go for the weather. Trust me. There are. There are better places to go for, nature. You can go to the beach in Texas. You can go to the beach in Mexico, down in Baja. There are places on the coast in California. There are all sorts of places that you could argue that, the nature scenery is better than boring old, some people just find desert kind of boring, which brings us to scenery. The scenery, I love the scenery in Quartzsite, but not everybody likes that. Not everybody wants to sit and get up and look over at the desert every single day. Some people find that boring, and there's no green. There's hardly any, well, sometimes there's a little bit of green, but not like many other places have greenery and it's beautiful, or you're at the seashore and it's blue water and it's gorgeous. Also, there are so many places less crowded. While it's true that you can go to Quartzsite and you can go off on your own in the desert and be away from the crowds, in general, the area is very, very crowded. I mean, let's face it. 1 million people come visit a little town that has a year-round population of like less than 2,500. It's crowded. It's crowded in town. Especially we're talking December, January. It is crowded everywhere. And is it convenient? In a lot of ways, no. I mean, you got to drive almost an hour to get to a Walmart, and it's not one of those gigantic Walmarts. To go to a big grocery store, you have to drive at least 30, 40 minutes. And there can be traffic, there can be construction. It's not convenient to all kinds of services, right? It's just, it isn't. So what is it? What is it that people really like about it? And I think It's these 5 things that I think people that say they love it have in common. And it's not necessarily to do with Quartzsite in particular, other than these people that love these things, they tend to gather every year in Quartzsite. Like, that's all I'm talking about. Is the thing that I think I love the most is getting together with like-minded people. And before I jump into these 5 things that people that I meet at Quartzsite think the same about, don't think about politics, right? Because that's off the table here. Because, you know, half the country feels one way, half feels the other way. That's inescapable, really, almost no matter where you go. So we take that off the table. You know, politics comes up occasionally, but way less than you would think. Way less than you would think. And it's just not a consideration for me. So here are the 5 things. Number 1, love of RVs, tents, or car camping. Everybody that I've gotten to know there feels the same way. They love their RV, they love their car, they love their tent complex. They just are in love with it and like being not in, they call it sticks and bricks, right? Sticks and bricks. It's just fixed housing. It's all these things, RVs and tents and cars, they're mobile. You can get up and move it around. You can change your front and backyard whenever you want. Which leads me to number 2. Number 2 is that leads to this incredible sense of freedom, right? For example, right now, I'm in Eagle Nest, and I loosely planned I'm gonna go to Pahrump, Nevada, which is kind of my home base place, for a couple of months before I go to Quartzsite in November. But I don't have to decide when I'm gonna go, right? The arrangement that I have here where I'm staying, I can basically stay pretty much until the place closes if I choose to, and that's not gonna be until October. And what is going on up here? There's somebody stuck by the side of the road? Are they broken down? No, they're just parked there. They looked broken down. It's a side-by-side. They're fine. And the place I'm a member owner at Preferred RV Resort, I can, with no notice, I can change what day I arrive. That is a sense of freedom. I don't need to be at a particular place at a particular time. And when I decide I'm going to go to Quartzsite, I don't have a commitment to be at Quartzsite at a particular day. I can leave whenever I want. When I leave Preferred RV Resort, they'll charge me through the day I'm saying I'm leaving, and I'll go to Quartzsite in whatever day I want. That is the sense of freedom that you can have in this lifestyle, and that it's something that people that I spend time with in Quartzsite every year share, that are greedy for that sense of freedom. They want it, and it's wonderful. The other thing is a love of the desert. You know, there are people that don't like it, the people that don't care, but there are people like me and many of my friends. I love the desert. I love it how out in boondocking in the desert, the light totally changes what you're seeing in your environment, almost sometimes from minute to minute, certainly from hour to hour. Normally the sunrises and sunsets are what I would say spectacular. And they're different every night, and the stars at night, and the little critters in the desert, and the little flowers and cacti, and I just love everything about it. I fell in love with the desert. My first night, and I've said this before in another video, I think I talked about it in the Why I Love Quartzsite video. It's worth repeating though. My first night in the desert, in Quartzsite, sun was setting. I'm sitting outside my trailer, and I hear cello music. And I look up, and there's a woman on a chair, not near a rig or anything, just in the desert, sitting on a chair, playing the cello. It was so beautiful. And I thought, wow, this is what it's like out here? And I was like expecting classical music every night in the desert. That was in years, that's the only time I ever saw anything like that. I have no idea who she was. I did take a picture of her though. I think it's on my Facebook somewhere. I'll try to find it to stick it in here. It may take me a while to find it, but I'll find it and I'll stick it in here and edit it and show you. But that was the moment I fell in love. Now, I love people watching. I like crowds and noise. I can get a balance of it. If in December or January, especially January, I want to see people and crowds and just activity and excitement, I'll go into town. I'll go into Quartzsite because it's just bustling. It's exciting. And then when I'm done, I go back out to the desert and out to my little camp, and it's quiet. Now, let's be fair. Let's be real. Let's be fair. There's a time, even where I'm camping, the peak time just before and during the Big Tent show in January, even my place was just, there were campers everywhere, and it got a little noisy. And that's about a week every year it's like that. But otherwise, I go back to my tent. I go back to my tent when I don't even own a tent. Back to my rig, people I'm camping with, and it's peaceful and quiet. But then I can go back to town the next day, and it's exciting in its turn. So, and the last thing is the weather. Warm days, maybe 68 to 72, and cold nights. I like cold nights. I sleep well in cold nights. I gotta have my, I've dialed in the heat, the propane heat that I need, the device that I need, my Empire heater running off propane with a thermostat on it, just as primo wonderful. And it's just right for me. So it's really less about the nuts and bolts things that Quartzsite offers. It's more about people that share these things in common. And the shared enthusiasm is recognizable. You can feel it. And if you're around people that are happy to be where they are in the circumstances that they're in, it's easy. That's contagious, right? It's contagious to feel happy too, and feel content, and feel a sense of peace. And not every day is like that. And like I talked about the politics things, I have arguments maybe 2 or 3 times a season with my friend Tim about politics. We have very different views, and they're short arguments that end with one of us coming back to the other saying, "Hey, we're cool, we're good." And that's just, I didn't want to say that it's like this perfect thing in Quartzsite and people get along perfectly. Of course that's not true. I am talking about the vast majority of the time. It is the way I've described. So that's Quartzsite. So that's enough of the Quartzsite stuff. So if you clicked on the thumbnail because you wanted to hear about Quartzsite, that's where this in the video is where the Quartzsite stuff is going to end. Bail out here because the next part is going to be me wandering around kind of the farmer's market vendor thing at Angel Fire, and kind of wandering around there, seeing Deborah and Frugal. And so that part's not going to be about Quartzsite. So if you're here for Quartzsite, don't think that I'm going to eventually get back around to Quartzsite. I won't. I'm going to do walking through Deborah, Frugal RV Gal, and I'm going to wrap up this video. So, and just like this, I'm going to be in Angel Fire. Dottie, come on. We got to move the car. We park terrible. Well, sometimes this happens. You think you did a good job parking, and what you did is you messed up. Come on, she doesn't want to go back in the car, but we need to go back in. I should have known when I got out, it was such a tight, I wasn't thinking. So let me show you what I mean. Look how far over that I'm parked, and I'm gonna inconvenience the heck out of somebody unless I move it. I'm technically within the line, but not very kind of me to park like that. So, Dottie, we're gonna shift things a little bit, and we're gonna do a little bit better job. There we go. There we go. Much better. All right. There we go. Much better job. Pretty equidistant on both sides. Sorry about that, Dottie. You know, on this end, it's a big jump, so I have to pick her up. Dottie, come here. Hear that noise? That's the artificial sound that a electric car makes. So I know we're parking in the grocery store parking lot, but it's justified because I'm going grocery shopping after we hang out with Deborah and Frugal for a little while. And here we are, where all the vendors are. Dottie, leave the dog alone. And look at these sunflowers. Beautiful. And there's, I see Deborah and Frugal. They're over here.
Oh yeah. Hey, just had somebody here from Virginia.
Really? I got a pooping dog going here. Said Dottie says there's Deborah and Frugal. Time to poop. There you go.
And the rest is fiction.
All right, come on, Dottie. We're gonna walk around, get some footage.
It goes all over from NXS to
Here.
And I really don't.
If you're loving like a tree, well, we're gonna have to meet one day.
Oh, sure,
I
sure.
do a sample treat.
Dottie, look, you're getting fed.
Oh, look at you. How old are you? How old are you?
She's 9.
Oh my goodness. You're getting a little gray on your muzzle. Yeah. You're not interested right now? Maybe? Here, I'll put it down. Let's see if that's
She'll
better.
trust me. She'll eat it.
It's a peanut butter pen. She might be overstimulated. But Daddy will save it for later, or Daddy
You
will
want
give
it?
it if
Yeah.
Daddy gives it to you. Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
The difference?
Mm.
I see a lot of dogs like that. Will not.
It's gone.
There's water on this side, too.
Dottie, you want some water? Are you thirsty? Come here. Look.
Oh, she was carrying it around with her. It's
Oh, it's there? You haven't
She
eaten it
might
yet?
finish it now. There she goes. I made them last night, so they're curd fresh.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Come on, Dottie. You had to pee right there.
That's okay. All the dogs smell that area. So I'm trying to help out.
Yeah, that's good. Goodness, somebody said the armpit program and something else. I'm trying to get a snack. Hi, baby.
listening for it.
Yeah, you still have some money left.
He likes your dinosaurs in the room.
So my boss's daughter gets it.
I was literally wishing today.
Oh, they're over here.
Come on, we're going this way. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much. You too enjoy.
Dottie, come on.
Have a great weekend.
Dottie, why do we have the brakes on?
Yes.
Come on.
Always like,
Nice what? Potatoes?
So what's up? Come on.
Hey, sweetie.
And then right over there is Ty.
Oh, I love that song. We had that
Isn't
yesterday.
that great? Yeah.
Yeah, with that dot.
Sweetie.
Come on. Come on this way. Okay, are we done now? Can we walk? Come on, come on.
Sit in. No. I hear you. Yes, and paleo. That's a carrot cake, coffee vanilla cake, some brownies, biscochito cake, and then Hawaiian.
Yeah, I was traveling, so I know that. Yeah, right.
Very pretty color. What's the matter with
Well, this is a trilogy. And this is about a woman that was
I'm walking up, she's selling a book. Right, Dottie? Isn't that how that works? Dottie was not a very cooperative dog. Were you? Hey, this is a little bonus I put in here. I mentioned on a previous video I was at Golden Eagle RV Park, and there was a section where they had some tiny homes, and I didn't show it to you on that video, but I'm showing it to you now. It's up here on the right, and they're RV slots and they're little tiny homes, and it's not like the tiny homes are all the same. They all seem different. Hi. And like I said, I'm not positive if they're renting or selling the tiny homes or both. Just thought you might find this interesting. And we'll turn around here, go back the other way, give you a different angle on stuff. Beautiful blue sky today. That's Route 64 right in front of us, and just the other side of it would be the Eagle Nest Lake. And we're going to slide down here, and this is where Deborah and Frugal RV Gal are parked. We're all about to leave to go get some lunch. And look who that is, Frugal RV Gal. Hello. Well, guys, I survived saying goodbye to Deborah and Frugal. They're on their way in a few minutes. They'll be on their way on to their next stop, and we'll reunite in Quartzsite in November. And that's all she wrote today for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.